lakas na ng hangin pero hindi pa po tumatama ang sentro ng bagyo dito sa bahagi ng Tacloban.
The Philippines is no stranger to the strongest typhoons. Times like these, we need to stay at home under one reliable roof that will protect you and your family. A shield that values your business. Onduline sheets, made by the worldwide leader in light roofing. Onduline has been protecting lives and investments for over 75 years. Onduline is Filipinos' reliable roof partner in any season. It can withstand typhoons and wind speeds up to 260 kilometers per hour. It reduces noise on heavy rains, giving you a comfortable and quieter home, conducive for working and learning. A non-ferrous product that can resist corrosions, making it 100% rust-free. Suitable for coastal homes and establishments. A weatherproof protection made with global standards. Uncompromised quality that values and protects your investment. Have a better sleep at night knowing that you are protected. For your roofing needs, Onduline, on duty.
May nabalitaan na po kami na may parating na bagyo na super typhoon. Pag bagsak talaga ng malakas na hangin, kala ko matapos na yung mundo kasi nilipad lahat ng bubong namin.
I've been living in the Philippines for about 20 years now. Working here for the resort right now, but used to work in Cebu as well for 19 years and moved to Siargao like 3 years ago. Yeah, we saw it coming actually. So we are like watching the typhoon track for 5 days before typhoon, and you're getting prepared for it.
Kailangan daw kami mag-evacuate kasi nga daw mas malakas daw yung udit na typhoon.
And first we were happy to be alive because we thought we would not make it anymore. But when we came back the next day, early morning, we saw the whole place devastated. And it was like, it was very emotional, very hard to see it this way. But we say, okay, let's stand up again and let's find ways to make it happen again. So from day one, we thought, okay, we are down, but when you're down, you can rise again.
Akala ko doon na magwakas yung mundo na kasama ko pamilya ko.
Akala namin kung abot pa yun ng gabi, wala na kami lahat dito sa sa Siargao.
Pasalamat talaga kami na parang inanuhan talaga kami ng Panginoon.
Mga isang buwan, di pa namin yun matanggap na ganun pa pangyayari.
And when we came back from the evacuation center, we came back here, and the only roof still alive was Onduline. So it's a no-brainer. If you want to rebuild, we go for Onduline for that.
Nung sinabi na magbigay ng Onduline, sabi ko, ano ba yung Onduline?
Salamat din ako kay Sir Vince na nagbibigay kasi kami, hindi kami makabili niyan kasi mahal yan dito.
It's easy to install, it's fast to install, there's no corrosion. When it rains, you don't hear the rain underneath. When it's very hot, you don't feel the heat underneath. So it has a lot of characteristics that are better than any other roof sheets.
Sabi namin, ay ang swerte-swerte namin kasi sabi nga ng iba, ay ang hirap hanapin ng Onduline tapos binigay lang pala sa inyo.
Ginamit namin yung Onduline, sobrang gaan po. Madali lang talaga siyang ikabit kaysa yero. Mas gusto namin yung Onduline.
Philippine trait is quite a unique trait, I have to say. I mean, the Filipinos are very passionate, very dedicated, and happy people, I have to say. Basically, if you compare Filipinos to Europeans, I can say that Europeans are about the money, so you're happy if you have the money. Filipinos happy anyhow. Money or no money, they just find ways to make things happen, and they're happy as they are.
Understanding the double roofing system. Water roof leaking is a very common problem in the Philippines due to its weather. Several coastal structures in a 37,000 kilometers coastline are prone to rust, and the roof material being used is mostly metal. Onduline develops a concept to address the issue of changing your whole roof after an unfortunate situation. With this system, you don't need to dismantle your old roof that was damaged by unfortunate events. Onduline lightweight roofing solutions can be installed at the top of it using the double roofing system. With its cost-efficient, time-saving, unique, rust-free, and wind resistance, double roofing is the solution expert. This property installed our double roofing system with less disturbance to its workers. Upgrading your roof should not be costly with Onduline's double roofing. For your roofing needs, Onduline on duty.
Onduline Lightweight Roofing Systems. Welcome to Onduline Double Roofing instructional video using Onduline corrugated sheet. Have you heard about double roofing? Now you do. This video will give you a step-by-step on how the system works. Double roofing is an innovative concept that addresses the issue of changing your whole roof. With this system, you don't need to dismantle your old roof. But how this double roofing works? You will need the following tools: saw, electric screwdriver, measuring tape, a pen, cutter, rivet. Safety essential in the workplace. A complete safety uniform is usually recommended. Materials: hat-type battens, tech screw, Onduband, Onduline speedy screw, Onduline corrugated sheet. Secure checklist on different areas such as roof rust level, structure, purlin type, termite penetration. How bad is the leaking? Before getting started, check the structure and evaluate the condition of the roof. Trusses and existing purlin. Onduline products are recommended either full deck or discontinued structure with a roof slope of at least 15 degrees. Measure the slope. Inspect the existing purlin spacing. If the roof is 5 to 10 degrees, 24 centimeters purlin spacing. If the roof is 10 degrees above, 45 centimeters purlin spacing. Install main support battens vertical to existing purlins using tech screw 2.5 size. Depends on actual existing GI profile. Use ordinary screw or verify if wood or steel frame. For horizontal battens, if the roof is 5 to 10 degrees, 24 cm purlin spacing. If the roof is 10 degrees above, 45 cm purlin spacing. Use a rivet gun to attach the horizontal battens. Follow Onduline installation spacing. Use a rivet gun to attach the horizontal battens. Start fixing Onduline sheet. Use string line or measuring tape as a guide at a distance of 7 cm maximum overhang. Customers may opt to install rubber fillers. Start installing first sheet using Onduline speedy screw. 5 to 10 degrees or a 24 cm purlin spacing. 20 pieces screw of an 8x4x4x4. Side overlap, 2 corrugations. Top overlap, 32 cm sheets. First and second purlin spacing should be 20 centimeters. 10 degrees up, 45 cm purlin spacing. 14 pieces of screws of a 5x3x3x3. Side overlap, 1 corrugations. Top overlap, 20 centimeters. Screw alternate corrugations in the next batten. Fix sheets at the opposite ends of the roof from prevailing winds. Check side overlapping, 5 to 10 degrees or a 24 cm purlin spacing, 20 pieces screws of an 8x4x4x4. Side overlap, 2 corrugations, 10 degrees up to 45 cm purlin spacing, 14 pieces of screws of a 5x3x3x3. Side overlap, and a 1 corrugation. Start fixing second row with top overlapping off. 5 to 10 degrees, 24 cm purlin spacing, 20 pieces screws of an 8x4x4x4. Top overlap, 32 cm sheets, 10 degrees up or a 45 cm purlin spacing, 14 pieces screws of a 5x3x3x3. Top overlap, 20 centimeters. Install the verge. Attach on-demand before installing the ridge. Install the ridge. Minimum ridge overlap, 22 centimeters or 220 millimeters. Check for any imperfections. That's how you easily install Onduline corrugated sheets using our double roofing system. For cost-efficient, time-saving, unique, rust-proof, and wind resistance benefit, Double Roofing is the solution expert.
Heavy rain? Introducing Onduline's acoustic performance. With Onduline, we understand everyone's struggle, especially when it's rainy season. Heavy rain noise can affect your family's mood in a day. Your father can't understand what he's watching, sleep disturbance of your sister, and you can't hear clearly your mother's loud voice. Onduline's lightweight roofing solutions are proven to be 4 times quieter than metal sheeting when rain is falling on them, giving greater acoustic insulation performance. With its rain noise reduction, your family can now enjoy watching TV, better sleeping, and more focus on studying. Check now our product by visiting our website. Send us your inquiries through Facebook, Instagram, or you can even ask for quotations through web forms. We have talented salespeople who will be happy to assist you. Heavy rain noise? Onduline on duty.
When adding an extension to your home, planning is everything. It's important to consider how light will enter the space. Many people think bifold doors will bring in enough daylight, but it's often not the case. That's because an extension moves the light source further away from the original building, so daylight can't reach very far into your home. The solution? Velux roof windows. They can bring in twice as much light as vertical windows of the same size, allowing light to penetrate deeper into your home. Here's an example. It's an attractive extension, but it's quite dull. Look what happens when we add 2 roof windows. The space immediately becomes brighter. But choose the optimal solution, and the room is completely transformed. It's light, bright, welcoming. Ideally, your combined roof and vertical glazing should make up the equivalent of 15 to 20% of the whole room's floor space. It's also important to think about how light will enter the space throughout the day. Get your vertical windows and Velux roof windows working together, and you'll create the optimum level of light in your extension. From dawn to dusk, they maximize the available daylight. If your extension is north-facing, Velux roof windows are even more vital. In some cases, they're the only way to get sun shining directly into the room, like in this extension here. But Velux roof windows aren't just about daylight. They bring fresh air into a space too. It's through a process called stack ventilation. As we know, heat rises, so warm air naturally moves upwards in a room. When a vertical window is open, only a small amount of air can circulate. But add an open Velux roof window into the mix, and the flow of cool air pushes the warm air up and outwards, recycling the air in the room in seconds. Ideal for kitchen extensions, so cooking smells don't hang around. 7 out of 10 extensions don't have roof windows, so most extensions are missing out on more daylight, more fresh air, and more wow factor. Make the most of your extension. Search Velux extensions for more tips and inspiration.
Before we formally start, let us all pray. Let us all welcome your host for tonight, Robin ng Bayan.
Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to our webinar on Greenovation, greening existing buildings. I'm delighted to have all of you here as we take a deep dive into the fascinating topic of Greenovation and its significant impact on our environment. Very, very exciting topic tonight. Before anything else, I'd like to introduce myself. I'm Robin Nambayan, and I'm your host on duty tonight. Tonight, join me and let's take a moment to understand the importance of Greenovation. Now, very important announcement before we start our Greenovation conversations. Please don't forget to like and follow Onduline Philippines Facebook, YouTube, and Instagram page para manalo sa games and raffles later on. Now, our team will verify if you really followed Onduline social media pages, so better like and follow right now. Again, on Facebook, it's Onduline Philippines. Instagram, Onduline_PH, and on YouTube, it's Onduline space Philippines. And now let's get the ball rolling, everybody. Opening our platform is Onduline's marketing officer on duty. Let's all welcome JD Dizon. JD, the virtual floor is now yours.
Thank you, Robin. Good evening, everyone. We would like to thank all of you for taking the time to attend our webinar tonight. I know some of you are still in transit because it's Friday and some are in their, but wherever you are, maraming salamat po sa pag-join. I think this is Onduline's 8th webinar, pang-walong webinar na po ni Onduline since the pandemic started. And you know, one thing that we realized that the pandemic contributed to the industry or taught us is how to be connected with each other, even long distances like this one. And the success of the series of webinars that Onduline keeps on producing to help the architects, non-architects, and the community really proves that. And another thing to be grateful for is our speaker for tonight, Architect Miguel Guerrero. He's been open and always accommodating with our invitations, whether it's being a speaker or giving testimonials. That's why on behalf of Onduline Philippines Architect, maraming salamat po. And we know that after your discussion tonight, we will again be equipped with knowledge. So thank you very much, Architect. Again, thank you everyone for attending. We have prizes and announcements to make. So let's start the Architect on duty tonight.
You're right. Thank you so much, JD. You were right. Thank God it's Friday, and thank God for this green innovation discussion we're going to have in just a few moments. Now, I'd also like to share that Onduline Philippines will be having Ogra Asia 2023 this August already. That's next month. Now, take a good note of this one, everybody. Join the Onduline Green Roof Award and get a chance to be the Philippines' pride and representative that will be sent to Indonesia for the final round and awarding. Now, this is open for architects, developers, contractors, and designers with a theme Tropical Passive Roof Design for Low Energy House. Joining the Orga contest is, of course, super simple and easy. To know more, let's all watch this. Wow. Now, to all of you, don't miss a chance to showcase your vision for a sustainable future and make a difference in the world. Now, for prizes, check this out. First place will receive 3,300 US dollars. Second place will receive 2,300 US dollars. Third place, 1,600 US dollars. And the fourth and fifth place will both receive 1,000 US dollars. Now, not just that, everybody. All the top 5 will be invited to Indonesia to participate in the final event. Now, good luck to all of you. Hindi lang yan, okay? Aside from international contests, Onduline also has a local contest for contractors and installers. Wow. And that is double roofing, doble saya. Now, for those of you wondering what is double roofing, let's all watch this.
Understanding the double roofing system. Water roof leaking is a very common problem in the Philippines due to its weather. Several coastal structures in a 37,000 kilometers coastline are prone to rust, and the roof material being used is mostly metal. Onduline develops a concept to address the issue of changing your whole roof after an unfortunate situation. With this system, you don't need to dismantle your old roof that was damaged by unfortunate events. Onduline lightweight roofing solutions can be installed at the top of it using the double roofing system. With its cost-efficient, time-saving, unique, rust-free, and wind resistance, double roofing is the solution expert. This property installed our double roofing system with less disturbance to its workers. Upgrading your roof should not be costly with Onduline's double roofing. For your roofing needs, Onduline on duty.
And now here's how to join our double roofing, doble saya. Go to the website flash on your screens or visit the Onduline Philippines Facebook page and click the link and readily provide the following information: your full name, email address, phone number, salesperson contact number, signed purchase order processed by Onduline Philippines with client and or contractor name on it, and of course provide any government ID and wait for Onduline's representative to send you an acknowledgement of your submission. Very, very easy, diba? Grabe, ang daming pasabog ng Onduline sa ating mga contractors, installers, and architects. And now, it's time naman na magbigay ng pasabog to all of our audiences right now. Pasabog for all of you, our viewers tonight. Before we begin our lecture, everybody, let's all play a mini game first. I'm sure ito ang hinihintay ninyong lahat. Siksik na sa kaalaman, siksik pa surprises. Now, for our mechanics, for our mini game, here we go. All of you, there will be a list of statements about roofing, myths, and facts. Participants will have to determine whether each statement is a myth or a fact. Submit your answers via the chat box. The first person to send the correct answer will win. Remember to like and follow Onduline Philippines on Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube to win your prize. Now for our winners will receive 1 tumbler, 1 notebook, and 1 ball pen with toolkit each. All from Onduline. Now listen very carefully, everybody. Wait for my go signal, all right? Only the answers after the Onduline chat message will be considered after every question. So very important for you to wait for my go signal. Onduline go. That will be my go signal. All right, everybody, flex your fingers. Get ready to type in if it's a myth or a fact. Let's go to our round 1. Round 1. It is possible to re-roof over existing shingles. Onduline, go. You gotta type in, is it a myth or a fact? It is possible to re-roof over existing shingles. Do we have a winner already? I'm checking. Here we go. This is round 1 of Roof Legends, myth or not. All right, I think we already have a winner. Let's check out the answer first. The correct answer is, it is a myth. New roofing materials require a new seat and sheeting. Covering old shingles with new materials is a big no-no. Now, congratulations, round 1 winner, Mark Masendo. Congratulations. Here we go, round 2. All asphalt shingles are the same. Wait for my go signal. Onduline, go. You just gotta type in, is it a myth or a fact? All asphalt shingles are the same. All right, we already have a winner. Let's check out the answer. Of course, it's a myth, everybody. Principally, asphalt shingles are made from similar materials. This much is true. However, asphalt shingles come in a wide variety of textures, colors, and brands. Round number 2 winner, congratulations! Another Mark. Oh, no, it's Marl. Marl Hapita. Congratulations. All right, let's check out round number 3. Bitumen sheets are known to be one of the longer lasting types of roofing. Onduline, go. Let's check out if it's a myth or a fact. This is round number 3 of Roof Legends. We already have a winner. What is the answer? Is it a myth or a fact? Let's check. It is a fact, everybody. Bitumen sheets are durable. It is considered one of the longer lasting types of flat roofing materials, easily lasting 20 years or more. All right, it's a fact, and congratulations to Basil Leonag. Congratulations, Basil. Next round, everybody. 2 more rounds. Round 4. New roofs are prone to problems like any other roof. No one's typing yet, huh? Onduline, go! Do we have a winner? New roofs are prone to problems like any other roof. We already have a winner. Let's check the answer. It is a fact, everyone. It is important to have an annual roofing inspection done on freshly installed roofs and older roofs alike. In fact, if you want your new roof to last even longer, annual roof inspections should be scheduled right away. And for our round 4, congratulations to Yves de Jesus. Congratulations. And round 5, last for this game. Anyone can re-roof or repair their own roof. Onduline, go! Anyone can re-roof or repair their own roof. Is it a myth or a fact? Finally, okay. Let's check out the answer first. It is a myth, everyone. Botched roofing jobs cause roof failures. Expert roofers have experience and knowledge to repair a roof for the first time, leaving homeowners safe and secure inside their home investment. Leave it to the experts, all right, everybody? For this round 5, finally, it's a lady. Congratulations, Audrey Ann Pena. Congratulations, Audrey. There you have it, everybody. Thank you to everyone who joined our game. And congratulations, of course, to all of our winners. We'll get in touch with you on how to claim your prizes. And to the rest na hindi pinalad, don't worry, because marami pa tayong raffle prizes later on. Just continue to like and follow Onduline Philippines Facebook, Instagram page, and YouTube channel. All right, everyone, let's begin our talk on greenovation, greening existing buildings. Our speaker for tonight is none other than architect Miguel Guerrero, FUAP, APEC architect, ASEAN architect, Green AP. Architect Miguel Guerrero is a registered architect since 1981, managing partner of Asian Architects, active member of the United Architects of the Philippines, or UAP, a member of the Board of Advisors of the Philippine Navy, member, College of Fellows of the United Architects of the Philippines, one of the first 12 APEC architects in the Philippines. With the opening of ASEAN, he was also conferred the title of ASEAN Architect as part of the first batch in the Philippines and the first with a specialization of green architecture. He is also a founding member, Green Architecture Advocacy Philippines, or Green AP, a civic organization that promotes green architecture and sustainability to all sectors of society. Chairman of Green Architecture Advocacy Philippines from 2011 to 2019, and a graduate of the University of Santo Tomas College of Architecture and Fine Arts in 1979. Wow, no other architect to talk more about green innovation. Ladies and gentlemen, let's all give a virtual round of applause to architect Miguel Guerrero. Hello, architect.
Hi, good evening.
Welcome back to Onduline, Philippines.
Yes, yes. It's already my third time. You know, I noticed that one of the messages in the chat box earlier was, I meet you. You know, fact or myth. I meet you. That's quite very, very, very creative response.
I hope that person won in the game.
Yes,
All
yes,
right.
yes.
Architect Miguel, how are you doing?
I'm good. And well, it's good that we have online medium because right now, with the typhoon and the rains and the traffic and the floods, I think everybody's at least being able to connect without having to physically be together.
That's
So one
right.
of
You
the
know
things
what?
we have learned from COVID.
That's right, architect. You know what? Right now, everyone right here, I'm seeing the chat box. Everyone right here can't wait to hear about green innovation and learn more from you right now. So, architect Guerrero, the virtual floor is now yours. Take it away.
Yes. Okay, thank you. Well, good evening, guys. I hope you guys are dry and warm. First of all, thank you to Onduline of inviting me again. They're not yet tired of me of speaking about green architecture in general. And thank you also to the people behind who organized this lecture, this seminar. Today, I'm going to talk about green innovation. It's something which has to do with existing buildings. If you notice, there's a very small V2, version 2, because this is, I restudied the whole thing and I chose a different approach for this particular lecture. Now, the clothing industry is a multi-billion-dollar or peso industry. No, you have clothes all over the place. You get the raw materials from plants, maybe from some insects like the cocoon silk, and they're made into clothes. And because of fashion, clothes move quite fast, and therefore, many times we actually have excess clothes in our closets, and therefore people try to remove some of them. I know that some famous stars like this lady here, Michelle D. They every now and then she sells her pre-loved items, no? So these are actually clothes she has used, and she actually sells it. We also already know the very famous Changge, no? Where you can find all sorts of second-hand clothes at very, very cheap prices. Or if you look at the other picture, sometimes our old clothes end up in relief centers, typhoons, earthquakes, disasters, fires, etc. Normally, we actually also give out our old clothes. And sometimes even if the clothes do not even if they cease to be clothes, they're actually even recycled further. For example, they made into rugs, sometimes even you might say reprocessed rugs like that one little rug there, which is sewn together. And some creative people are actually putting all of these little patches together and actually creating fashion in themselves. There's a type of fashion which because of my generation, I belong to the older generation, which I really never understood. No? There is this, you buy brand new pants, actually. This is actually, but they actually have holes. No? Every time I see some of my staff or younger people wearing them, I tell them, wow, that's cool. That's cross-ventilated pants. No? But even if it's already damaged, quote unquote, damaged in the beginning, it is still recycled. So the clothing industry somehow has found a way to recycle that raw material, which is made into textile, which is made into clothes, which can be sold in different mediums, related, even made into rags or trapo, etc. They have learned. Now, what about our industry? Our industry produces buildings, homes, structures, etc. We build so many of them. Of course, the timeline is a bit longer than clothes, but then at some point, those buildings either go out of fashion, they get destroyed, they get damaged, and what are we going to do with them? Are we just going to demolish them? You know, the architectural industry or the construction industry, we have created so many names on what to do with existing buildings, renovation, repurposing, adaptive reuse, etc. So I thought that's a bit confusing for the public. So I decided to restructure what to do with existing buildings in its function. So there are four possibilities. If you have existing building, one, you can extend the use of the building. It's a repair, restore, conserve. In other words, if the building is working this way, we just make sure that we constantly keep it in good use, in good repair, so that it can actually continue being used to what it is originally used for. Second, we can upgrade that building. Maybe the technology is already so old, so maybe we start renovating, retrofitting, remodeling that building so that it sort of keeps up with the times, it keeps up with technology. We could also change the use of the building. If the building is an office building, can we reuse it as a school building? If it is a warehouse, can we make it a hotel? So adaptive reuse or repurposing. And if really the building cannot be saved, then we are forced to demolish the building. But try to see if you can actually reuse or recycle the materials in that building. So today, we go to 3 points I'll share with you. First step is the assessment. In other words, when you have an existing building, before you touch it, before you modify it, you have to assess that building. Get details, get data, get information, which will determine whether you can actually proceed with the renovation or not. Second is greenovation. I'm going to share with you 6 steps in which you can actually go through so that you can actually change that building which you're trying to touch or renovate into a green building. If you're going to touch a building, why don't you make it a green building anyway? And third, design tips. Having gone through the process of renovation or greenovation, what would you do? And what could you learn from that process so that when you design from the very beginning, we actually design to facilitate the greenovation or renovation or retrofitting or whatever you call it of that building in the future. So the first step is assessment. So your client who has a building, it comes to you. Can we do something with my building? Okay. Ask for 4 things. Do 4 things. First, get the as-built plans. Then audit the buildings. Then do a building survey and do an equipment survey. So as-built plans. Of course, we all know that as-built plans, when we do a building, when we do a project and construction, after the end of the construction, we always require that the contractor or the builder deliver to us what is known as the as-built plans. Because, you know, from design to construction, many times there are changes in the project, and therefore that has to be documented. So if you have a building, existing building, try to secure the architectural as-built plans, the structural as-built plans, the electrical as-built plans, the plumbing as-built plans, mechanical as-built plans, and the specifications which was used for the building. Now, sometimes these are not accurate or it does not exist. For some strange reason, the plans are not around. Then you will have to actually do your best to try to measure up the building, try to see if you can actually check out all the items in that building and make or create the plan so that you can actually use those plans to start your renovation process. Second is an energy and cost audit. So ask for the building's electrical consumption. Get the Meralco bill. Find out what is the monthly consumption of electricity in this building and the equivalent cost. Second, ask for the water bill. check what is the water consumption and the cost of this building. Third, what is the cost of maintenance of the equipment? So the air cons, the elevators, everything, try to find out, no? How much are they spending per year on trying to maintain this equipment? And then evaluate the comfort levels. You can actually pass around a little survey or maybe just ask people around on how comfortable they are in their areas where they actually work or live, depending on the type of building you're going to renovate. No? Now, this is important because this becomes a benchmark and which in the future can determine whether it is worthwhile renovating the building on these parameters or not. The third, doing a building survey. No? So we go there, check the building. First, climate and site data. No? Where is the orientation of the building? Where is the north, south, east, west? What is the average temperature, the mean temperature, the highs and lows? Rainfall in the area of that building. This will help you to, if you want to decide to harvest rainwater, it will help you. Wind speed and direction, so that you might be able to use this wind to be able to maybe flush out the air inside the building. The topography within the building, I mean within the grounds of the building or even around the building, no? So that at least you know which is the high point, which is the low point, where is the water going to move if in case there's a typhoon. No? Air quality, particles per minute, is it polluted or is it safe? The noise, decibel level in the area, vegetation around if existing, and if there are matters like wind, which is affected by adjacent buildings. Because even if there's a certain direction of the wind, if there's a building beside it, that the wind can actually be deflected by that building. Then review the form, building form. What is the surface to volume ratio? In other words, what is the skin of the building? Because then if you're going to change the finishes of the building, then you're going to have to consider that. What is the glazing ratio? This is what is known as the percentage of windows to wall, window-wall ratio in the building. And then, of course, building orientation. Where is it facing? And then finally, check physical condition of the buildings. How's the structure? If it's safe? Are there water leaks? Are there air leaks? In other words, maybe it's aircon, but then the aircon is actually leaking out of the windows or the doors or even cracks in the walls. And others, depending on the type of building you're going to do. Fourth is equipment survey. So start reviewing the equipment, check the conditions of the air conditioners, pumps, elevators, escalators, fans, blowers, electrical panels, wires, controls, others. Now, don't get shocked. You're not going to do all of this because as an architect, we are not experts in some of these matters. We put together our team of engineers, our electrical engineer, our structural engineer, our plumbing engineer, and they join us to sort of survey the equipment in that building. So once you've done that, you will be faced with some issues to help you decide whether you should retrofit or not. So why should you retrofit? Is the building decaying? Is it degraded? Maybe it's time to renovate the building. Is it outdated? Be careful about outdated, no? Because sometimes some buildings are actually classified as historical monuments. You have to be careful about that. Is the building inefficient in terms of its energy usage, in terms of its water usage, in terms of its space usage? Is it unreliable? Is it unhealthy? Are people getting sick there? Is it too dark? Is there going to be a change of occupant? Is the building operating at excessive cost? Very expensive to operate. Or sometimes you are forced to renovate because you're complying with legislation. Okay? For example, if the road is going to be widened and then your building somehow falls into that line where they're going to widen, you'll have to chop off the front part of your building, and then that will force you to renovate that building. Or if you're going to expand, you might as well update the existing building, which is going to expansion is going to be connected to. And if there is a need to do architectural conservation, then we have to look into that. Maybe we'll have to keep the building itself, but maybe we have to upgrade the technology in the building. One example of benchmarking, and that's why I said get an audit on the electrical consumption is this, no? There are known electrical benchmarks for green buildings. It's known as the energy intensity units, EIU. And this parameter, which benchmarks, is kilowatt hours per square meter per year. No? That's why you have to check the Meralco bill, find out what is kilowatt hours, get the floor area of the building, square meters by the year, and you should come up to the number. So an office should not be higher than 200 kilowatt hours per square meter per year. A mall, 300 kilowatt hours per square meter per year. Supermarket, 250. Hotel, 250. Houses, 50. Now that I mentioned houses, maybe later on you can do a little homework. No, when you go home, try to see, get your own Meralco bill. Try to find out what is the kilowatt hours per year. And then what is the area of your house? And divide it and see, are you going to be above 50 or below 50? If you're going to be above 50, it means maybe your house is not that energy efficient. And you have to look into it. Of course, if it's below 50, congratulations. No? Now, what is the advantage of retrofitting? First of all, it's much, much lower capital cost than building a new building. It has a shorter time for completion because in even most extreme case of retrofitting, which means taking out all the walls, all the windows, all the electrical, all the plumbing, and you just leave practically the building structure, which is the columns, the beams, and the slabs, you're actually starting already with a structure. No? That's why the time to complete that building is going to be much shorter. And of course, if you're going to touch the building, there's an opportunity for energy efficient strategies. And of course, when green people come together, they always say, no, using an existing resource is sustainable. Because what is sustainability? It's maximizing efficiency of all our resources in the world. And therefore, if a resource is existing and we're using it, then that is a direction towards sustainability. Now, we don't have to retrofit the whole building in one go. There are retrofitting strategies. One retrofitting strategy is building element life cycles. For example, don't change the air conditioner if it is still running perfectly. Face it at the end of life of that air conditioner. When that air conditioner is sort of already old, run down, then maybe it's over time to change that. So depending on the life cycle. You can also retrofit by scale of intervention. For example, you could change just all the lighting. If it is still halogen lights, or maybe you're using CFL, it might be time to move into LED. Scale of intervention, or you can replace the whole air conditioning system. Or you can opt to do what I call retrofit packages. For example, one area of the building is very hot. So you look at that whole package. How do you make it more comfortable in that area? So maybe it might need an air conditioning upgrade. Maybe you need solar heat control. So look at that solution so that you solve that particular problem in that area. That's what I call a retrofit package. So retrofitting doesn't have to be the whole building. It could be based on the building element life cycle. It could be based on the scale of intervention, or it could be based on retrofitting packages. Okay, so let's assume that after you did all your homework and realize, okay, the building, we can renovate this building. So there are 6 stages in which we can actually address this issue. First, the building envelope and fenestration. First, work on that building envelope because that is what controls everything inside. Next, work on the air conditioning and ventilation. Why did I put that number 2? Because air conditioning in a normal office building consumes approximately 60% of your electricity. Number 3, lighting. This lighting will consume the 20% of the electricity of a typical building. Then look at water, then look at the materials, and then look at possibility of introducing renewable energy. So how do you do renovation? First of all, it's not one man's job. You have to put together all your engineers, even the contractors, they come on board so that you can discuss. Remember, whenever you start renovating, there are many surprises. I have gone through that. many times, and always, always have an allowance. Tell the owner, have an allowance for these things which might pop up in the middle of the construction. So get your team together, the owner, the engineers, the designers, even the contractors together. No? So first, the building envelope. What is the function of the building envelope? Keep the heat out, bring the light in, and control the air. So therefore, that's the function of that building. No? And therefore, we have to study each and every part of those aspects in the building. For example, if the building is very, very hot and you have a place on the window facing west. For example, let's assume this is west. So if this is west, you can imagine that the sun goes right through this glass window and brings in direct heat into this room. And of course, it becomes very hot and comfortable for the people. They put all sorts of ways, and they have to just use a very, very powerful air conditioner. What can you do? First, can you actually put a vertical sunshade outside that window so that at least that window is not hit directly by the sun? It is actually already shaded. Can we change the color of this wall to a lighter color? Dark colors absorb heat. Lighter colors actually reject heat. And then the roof is actually hit by the sun. So insulate that roof deck. Earlier, in the Onduline videos, says there, no, you can actually have a double roof. No, so if you have a roof or a roof deck, you can actually put a secondary roof there so that at least the sun hits that roof. Maybe it heats up the air inside it here, but at least it will not anymore transmit heat into the slab or the original roof, keeping the interior much cooler. No? Now, sometimes you cannot touch the outside for some strange reason from rules. So work on the inside. In this case, maybe you can actually put some heavy vertical sunshades inside the window and maybe do a double wall inside so that at least this is hit by the sun. There's an air gap, which is the great insulator. And then maybe also in the ceiling, if you cannot touch, you cannot work on the up here, then try to see if you can actually put a secondary ceiling so that at least somehow the heat generated from this roof deck is actually dissipated. Now, if this window is facing north or south, your problem is different. First of all, especially in the north, you can have a lot of natural light coming into the building without direct sunlight. So therefore, if you have a regular size window, you might think of the possibility of actually bringing that window all the way down to the floor. That will bring a lot of natural light inside the building. You can consider what is known as a light shelf. This is a light shelf. It is reflected and the natural light deeper inside the building. You can also look at horizontal sunshade. Note if you have hit by the sun the whole afternoon. At night, when you touch the inner side of the wall, you notice that it is actually warm and it becomes very comfortable. That is where what is known as a double wall comes in. Of a double wall is similar, no? Actually, this can even be an Onduline roofing sheet put vertically. Importance, this initial part, this first wall, it probably will generate heat and heat the air in between these two walls. Hot air will rise. Make sure there's a gap above. And therefore, if there's a gap below, it will bring in cooler air below, therefore keeping your west-facing wall much, much cooler. This can also work also on the east. If you have a wall facing east, do a double wall so that at least your wall becomes cooler. This was asked by a question asked in one of my lectures. What if you have a window facing west, but then you have a fantastic sunset view in the sea? So I said, well, the other option is to do this solution, no? Have a trellis. In other words, maybe when the sun is actually going to be blocked by the trellis, you still will have a view of the sunset. So it's just creative. Be creative. In terms of floor plan, if you have your building and west is here, and if you put a window there, of course, you're going to have a lot of hot sun coming in. So there's an alternative. Push that wall out and then put slit windows, maybe floor to ceiling, and these windows face north to south. So this room will have lots of natural light, but without the heat, direct sunlight. If the sun comes at an angle, you can actually, again, do the same principle, push it out a bit, etc. Now, air conditioning. When you review air conditioning, first of all, check preventive maintenance, because look at this ducting. The old type of air conditioning was transmitted by ducting. And many times these ductings, especially the joints, actually have a lot of leaks. So therefore, try to see, if you're going to retain the existing aircon, try to see if you can actually look into those ducts, and make sure that there is no leaks coming out. Next, zone usage. This is very important. If you're going to replan the building, study which of the parts of the building or functions of the building will need aircon 24 hours. Which parts of the building will need maybe aircon only during the day, which will need it only during the night, etc. Because then if you can do that, you can put or cluster those areas which, for example, use the aircon 24 hours in one zone so that they can only use that aircon for that area. And maybe another zone for all those rooms which only use the aircon during the day. Therefore, the aircon will be on only during the day for that time, that area. So to save, again. And of course, look for energy efficient air conditioning systems. Ceiling fans is becoming very popular. You have these slow moving big air fans which move volumes of air, use very little electricity, and even if you have a smaller, lower powered aircon, it actually evens out the temperature in the room. So let's look into that first. See if you can actually use a combination of fans with air conditioners. And at the same time, try to see if there's a way to bring in some fresh air. That's why earlier I said study the wind movement around the building so that maybe you can have something like an inlet and an outlet. Of course, try to see if you can capture the air from the outside, fresh air, at a point in which you do not bring in pollution. Looking at lighting, again, preventive maintenance and cleaning of fixtures, because sometimes, the fixtures are just dirty. So try to see how you can do that. And replace CFL lights with LED, at least now. And another small detail, and I think this is becoming more popular, try to see if you can replace switches with motion sensor switches, especially in corridors and maybe storage rooms, so that people will not leave or forget to turn off the lights when they leave those storage rooms. Also, the control of lighting. Look at this little picture here. You have a window and you have lights inside the room, of course. Do you think that the light beside the window needs to be turned on during the day when you have ample light? Of course not. Turning on that light during the day beside the window is a waste of electricity. Whereas maybe the light farthest away from the window probably will need to be on the whole day. So therefore, organize your switches in the distance they are from the lights from the window. For example, those lights beside the window, maybe they should have a separate switch from those lights which are actually away from the window, so that during the day, maybe only this set of lights are on, and at night, maybe you start turning on those lights closer to the window. Of course, water. Study. Is it possible to harvest rainwater? No matter how small, you don't have to use rainwater for the whole building, but you can actually use it for selected uses. For example, flushing if you want, or maybe for just cleaning the grounds or irrigation. At least somehow you're going to be able to save in terms of freshwater supply. Many new buildings now require STPs. Therefore, we can actually reuse the STP water for other non-potable uses in the building. And then study, no? Look at the fixtures which actually use the least water, no? For example, urinals, it should have no more than 0.5 gallons per flush. Water closet, no more than 1.6 gallons per flush. Now, in terms of showers and lavatories, gallons per minute. Lavatory, 0.5 gallons per minute, and the shower, 1.5 gallon per minute. No? Look at the specs of the fixtures you actually specify, and specify those which have actually meet these levels. Outside the building, you always have catch basins, you know, storm runoff from the downspouts. It goes to this storm drain. It goes to a catch basin, and it goes all the way down to the street. And then it brings water as quickly as possible and as efficiently as possible to the street. And the street, it goes to the lowest portion of the city, causing floods. A little detail which I have done in some of my projects, existing renovated projects, is break the floor of your catch basin. Gravel base. As the water is running through pipe, it lands in the catch basin, a portion of the water ends down into the ground, therefore bringing less water into the next catch basin. So that's into the. You can look at materials. If you look at the picture here, it's nakakadiri, no? So much mold. So it looks sick actually. So look at materials in which we can actually avoid biological contaminant. When choosing materials, especially paints and other chemicals, is VOC, you know, they call it volatile organic compounds, because this actually causes sicknesses inside the building. And then look at indoor environmental quality in materials, no? Check, are the people comfortable? Is it quiet enough for the task they're doing? Is the lighting case and their indoor air quality, whether it's a clean air, it's less polluted, no? And finally, to look at possible renewable energy. Okay, solar panels, they're getting cheaper and cheaper. And look, no, you don't have to power up your whole building with solar panels, but maybe put a few which maybe powers up lights which are probably on the whole day. Like, for example, maybe all the lights which are in the fire escape, maybe they can be tapped to a separate solar panel. So let's look at design tips. Okay, if you were going to go the other way around, now that we have an understanding on how complicated and difficult it is to actually renovate the building or greenovate the building, what would you do if you were going to design the building from the start, keeping in mind that one of these days it is going to be greennovated or renovated? Okay, therefore, no? Building envelope, orientation, windows, and pipe chases. So what is the function of the building form? The building form, make sure that the person inside is comfortable in spite of the variable exterior environments. No, it could be hot, it could be raining, it could be cold, etc. And we have to design that building envelope to address that. So important thing is actually make sure your building is oriented properly already. If you notice on this picture here, north is up, south is down. If your building has a wider side facing north-south and a smaller part of the building facing east-west, that gives you more opportunities to cool your building. No? In other words, the hot part is putting windows. If this is north is here, put large windows on north. If possible, vertical fins on the east and west. And of course, if you have windows to the south, make sure you have medya agua overhang. No? Pipe chases is the most important thing. Sometimes you only do pipe chases in high-rise buildings, but tell you, do it in all buildings. This is just a 3-story house. You see this little door here? If I open that up, you can see all the pipes inside. This is going to facilitate many repairs in the future. Another detail, this is a cabinet. You see this line here? I can actually slide open this cabinet panel, and I will expose my electrical lines, my plumbing lines, and my ventilation lines. So there, no? It's all about creativity, making sure that you have access to your utilities. So as architects, plan pipe chases on the onset of your building design. So to recap, so before you touch any building, do an assessment. Make sure you get the as-built plans, do an energy audit, do a building survey, do equipment survey, and this assessment will lead you to make that decision with the owner whether that building can be renovated or not. Then, if it is a go, then we can go into the renovation process. First, look at the building envelope with fenestration, avoid heat, bring in natural light, bring in natural air, look at air conditioning, look at energy efficiency of air conditioning, look at energy efficient lighting, look at water, if you can recycle water, if you can harvest rainwater, look at materials, look at the health and the indoor and air quality. And then finally, look at possibilities of adding renewable energy. And finally, if we're going to design new buildings, let's look at the building envelope, its proper orientation, location of windows, and most importantly, pipe chases. So very quickly, I'll tell you, one of these buildings, you don't have to always, when you talk about retrofitting or renovation, don't always think of classical buildings. This is one of our projects with a client, bought a old building, which was actually repossessed by the bank. So it was practically unfinished. So it's supposed to be an office building. And we were tasked to create a school or create a school out of this building. So this is the perspective. And what did we do? First of all, I got a structural engineer to check the building. We brought in the electrical and plumbing guys to check the building also. There were no as-built plans because it was repossessed. I think the owner must have gotten so pissed off that he probably did not submit the plan. So we had to get somebody to actually measure up the whole building and create the as-built plans. And now there's some strategies. What I did was I created lots of pipe chases. And since there's a bathroom in the middle, I punctured a hole, a shaft from the top roof deck all the way down to the lowest floor, which meant that the bathroom had all natural ventilation, and that's where I passed all the new pipes. So here is the final building. You see this little chase here? I put some louvers there because that's where I passed all my main lines going up and feed it out to the buildings. There, no? It was a successful renovation project. So with that, I'd like to end with this little thought. There are more buildings that are existing than those that are being designed. Retrofitting these existing buildings for green innovation promises to be a big market for green architects. Okay? Many of us, our dream is to put new buildings. Yes, it is nice to have new buildings. It is easier to actually put up new buildings. But then those new buildings are not as many as the existing buildings. And therefore, if we are willing to embrace and understand the process and how to retrofit a building to make it even green, then we're going to be entering one of the bigger markets for green architects. If you notice, this is Green Architects 092. I actually have an Instagram account. It's instagram.com _underscore Mike G, where I post all my green little tips. As a matter of fact, the series I'm posting right now is all about green renovation. So I think with that, I hope that I brought you into the world of renovation, not to be afraid to look into existing buildings, kahit mas mabusisi, kahit mas madaming problema nun. If you master it and you actually gain experience from it, that is going to be a bigger market for all of us. Maraming salamat po.
Maraming salamat, Architect Miguel Guerrero. Thank you so much for taking us with you in this green evasion conversation. Now, so interesting to see actual designs that our viewers, architects, contractors right here with us can do. Thank you so much again, Architect Guerrero, for sharing your knowledge and thoughts on green innovation. Now, Earlier on, we've learned how to assess, infusing green innovation to structures, and of course, at the latter part of your presentation, green inspired design tips. We have truly covered a lot of ground tonight, and now it's time for the questions coming from our viewers. Please feel free to ask Architect Guerrero anything you'd like to know about green innovation, its benefits, implementation challenges, or the future of sustainable roofing. We have with us here as well our team from Onduline and, of course, Architect Guerrero. They are here to provide you with the knowledge and insights you need to have in order to make informed decisions. All right, so Architect Guerrero, I'm going to fire you some of the questions that we've gathered earlier. Question number one from one of our viewers: how do green building or this green innovation affect our natural resources?
Well, the green building actually preserves our natural resources in a way. Why? Because to put up that building in the first place, you need a lot of resources, right? So you the cement, the sand, the steel, the materials for the floor, the windows, the glass. They all come from nature, right? Now, once it's in that building and you do not destroy that building, you continue to use that building, therefore, you will not have to get another set of cement, sand, stone, roofing materials, etc. So that's one way of actually looking at it. That's why they say that the greener building is the building which is actually already there. And guess what? You know what the greenest building is?
What?
The greenest building is the one which is not built. It doesn't use any resources. That is
You're
a joke.
right.
That's a joke among us green architects. So what's the greenest building ever? Well, the building which is not built. You didn't use any resource, and even then, you're not using any energy at all.
Yes.
So I hope that answered that question. Huh?
Yes, thank you so much, Architect. Next one is eto, very interesting. What building types can be green?
What building types can be green?
Mm-hmm.
All buildings.
All buildings.
Any and all buildings.
All right.
I will just step back a little bit.
Okay.
What we have to understand is that green architecture or green building or green design, in my definition, which I've shared through the years, is designing with nature. We actually build within our environment. So if we actually build in the Philippines, which is a tropical country with rains and heat, and we look at orientation, we look at capturing rainwater, etc., we are already working with the items in the environment. We're maximizing our resources there. And therefore, whatever building that is, if it's done according to those principles, then it is green. So any building can be green, even a doghouse. Diba? Doghouse, diba? You use renewable materials, use energy efficient lighting for your dog. somehow it can be green. So any structure can be green.
Any structure can be green. And speaking of houses, an interesting question: how can I incorporate green building concepts into my simple home? We're talking about houses.
Yes. Very simple. Maybe Onduline has to invite me to another lecture. I have a lecture called 10 Steps Towards a Green Home.
Oh,
I will go there very fast. For example, number 1, block the sun. Mainit. So therefore, when you go to your house, look at the west. Don't try to avoid windows there. As a matter of fact, I actually talked about it in my lecture earlier. And then let the light in. Natural light is free from the north. Maximize it so you don't have to turn on the lights. No? And then, of course, cross-ventilation. Lalo na ngayon, everybody's about, after COVID, we're so conscious about the fresh air. No? So make sure you have windows on the northeast and the southwest. Amihan and nabagat, so that you can actually have your air flushed out. And then, of course, you have harvesting rainwater, etc., etc. So you can actually start with very simple things. Plus, a very important thing for Onduline, the roof is hit by the sun the whole day. West only in the afternoon, east only in the morning, but the roof is hit by the sun the whole day. So it's very important to make sure you have a good roof which actually avoids heat coming in. And I'm actually glad that Onduline is putting up a lot of marketing strategies is because long time ago,
Uh-huh.
I thought that wrong sheet for the Philippines. Okay, it was the wrong. I think am I coming across?
Yes, yes,
I
yes. Very clearly
my
now.
internet. It's raining very hard. That's why my internet is.
It's lag. It's okay.
So the best option actually for instead of GI roof is actually concrete and clay tiles. But there's a premium to that. They're expensive and they're heavy.
Mm-hmm.
Onduline asphalt-based roofing is actually a very good roofing material because it's lighter and it doesn't produce heat. Matter of fact, for the Onduline guys, I designed a disaster resilient school building for the
Mm-hmm.
Philippine Navy in Pagasa Island. It's an
Oh.
exoskeleton type, and
Uh-huh.
I asked them to use Onduline because GI sheet is going to corrode to the side, and it's going to be hot. So let's see if they get it approved. Budget of
Yes,
the
yes.
Navy. So I hope that answers your question. Actually, design with nature. If you design with nature, then your house, no matter how small it is or how simple it is going to be green.
Okay. Very nice tips, Architect Guerrero. Next one is we're going to talk about certification. Someone's asking, can a renovated building be certified by a certain organization? Meron na po ba tayo nun right now?
Yes,
Existing in the Philippines?
yes. There are two local green building rating systems. Uh, First is Verde, which is by the Philippine Green Building Council.
Mm-hmm.
The other one is Green with three E's, GREEEN, and that is written by the Philippine Green Building Initiative. There are two international rating systems which are quite active in the Philippines. One is the IFC, International Finance Corporation EDGE rating system, EDGE, and of course the US-based LEED. Okay, all of that, all of those four rating systems can rate a greenovated building.
Mm.
Okay, because they will check. They will check energy usage, energy efficiency, water efficiency, materials, etc., etc. So they can all be rated by them. Any of the
Oh.
four.
So it's nice to know that we have an organization that certifies
Mhm.
green buildings, right? Okay. Next one, it's talking about renovation and rebuilding. If a building is badly designed in terms of spatial planning, yet the materials are in perfectly good condition, would it be best to renovate or rebuild? If it's best to renovate, what are the best strategies, architect?
Well, the extreme case of renovation would be to knock down all the walls, windows, and just actually practically leave the structure, meaning the columns, the
Mm-hmm.
beams, and the slab. Then you can partition as you want. Now, the question was, what if the materials are very good?
Mm-hmm.
You have two options. Either you try to replan in such a way, retaining as much as possible the walls which have good materials, and maybe knocking down a few so that we can adjust. If you said, because I think the question mentioned, if the plan was very bad, no. So you
Uh-huh.
try to improve the plan by trying to minimize demolition to the materials which are very good, which are still good. Okay.
Oh,
Now that needs creativity. I cannot tell you that this is the template to follow because it
mhm.
depends on the house, how badly designed it is, or how the owner is going to perceive some compromises because he knows that he's working with an existing structure. So there,
Oh.
no, you'll have to talk with the owner because of course, no, if you have the existing structure, obviously there will be certain compromises because it's going to be
Mhm.
cheaper to start with because you already have a structure. Whereas if you knock the whole thing down and you build from scratch, you'll have to pay for the whole house, no?
It's a bigger cost.
Yes.
All right, there you go. Next one, I think most of our viewers, lahat sila, they're really interested about green innovation. One of them's already asking, can you recommend any books para po mabasa namin, para mas lumawak yung knowledge namin about green innovation or green architecture. Maraming salamat. Any
Well,
books, architect?
well, start with green innovation is something I coined.
Uh-huh.
It's not like a official name. It's the
Official
way
term.
it's like, look at it. I have to renovate something, but if I'm going to renovate the building, I might as well green it because I'm a green architect, right? So I
Uh-huh.
just put the two words together. It's not a official name. It's my a way I coined this approach on how if you have to touch a building, renovate a building, might as well put it in, make it a green building, di ba?
A green building.
Okay.
Uh-huh.
So, if are there any books? Well, you will find books about renovation. You will find books. I don't have I there's so many actually. Nowadays, you just do uh what's this artificial I chat? No.
AI.
AI,
AI. Yes.
GPT, chat GPT. I haven't
Chat
tried it yet, but
GVT.
you try you Google renovation for a green building. Then I think lots of things will come out. No? You can always go to my Instagram page. Right now, I'm posting archetypes about renovation. That's the current thing right now.
What's your Instagram page, architect? So our viewers can also take note of it.
It's Arki ARKI underscore
Mike.
Mike G
Mike
MIKE
G.
G.
All right, that's Arky
There.
underscore Mike G for all of you watching. Give a follow on Instagram to Architect Miguel Guerrero right now. Next one, architect. It's all about buildings. What's the difference of greening existing buildings from retrofitting buildings?
You know that I started out that way because when we look at existing building, architects have many ways of calling it: renovation, retrofitting,
Mm-hmm.
repurposing, adaptive reuse. It's all the same direction. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
what is the difference? It's actually what I mentioned in the beginning. What are you going to do with the building? Are you going to extend its use? In other words, it's an office building. It will still be an office building. Are you going to upgrade it? You need, in other words, bring in technology, etc., etc., etc. Are you going to change its use? So it becomes like I mentioned earlier, an office building becomes a school building,
Mm-hmm.
and then finally demolished. So it's actually what you want to do. You can call it whatever you want, but I decided to call it by what it is. What is a function of that building? Are you going to extend its use? Are you going to change its use? Or are you going to upgrade that building? Then you can call it whatever name it is.
Let's get into a more technical aspect of green innovation,
Yes.
architect. Next question. This is all about the technical aspect. What is the ratio of cost per square meter of green innovated buildings versus a new building construction?
Okay. Make it very simple. Let's say you have a building. Roughly, maybe the cost per square meter is about 40,000. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Now, my rule of thumb normally is for a building is actually 40, 40, 10, 10. I'm already sharing professional practice tips na to. 40% structure, 40% finishing, 10% electrical, 10% plumbing. So therefore, if you already have your structure in place, you already save 40% of the cost per square meter of a building. Now, if you have already some plumbing and some electrical, maybe you'll save maybe 3% or 5% of the electrical and maybe another 3 to 5% with plumbing. Now, if your finishes are still okay, try to assume a certain percentage what is still okay, and that's how much you're going to be saving. So, in the worst case, renovated building, if you just leave the structure alone, behind retained, you already save 40% of the cost of building per square meter. So that's very attractive, actually.
Ooh, okay. Thank you, architect. Next question. Last two questions from our viewers tonight. As architects, given that the construction industry is known to be the biggest contributor to greenhouse gas emissions, How can we reconcile our profession with the goal of incorporating green and sustainable practices?
Well, that is why for the last 20 plus years, I've been talking to architects, architecture students to green every single building. Matter of fact, I even created what is known as practical green. In other words, design with nature. It's very simple. Green buildings is not a complicated thing. And I even have a saying which goes like this. Green design is simply good design. Because what is good design? We go to the site, we analyze the site, we analyze the resources, we analyze the climate, we analyze the owner, and we try to put everything together and come up with that structure. No? So therefore, if you want to come face to face with that concept that, yes, it is true that buildings actually, from the energy uses, actually the biggest contributor to greenhouse gases, then we've got to start it with ourselves. Because we are the ones who designed it, right? I mean, not you or me, but as a professional.
In the industry, in your
if you have
industry.
designed a building with all glass, even on the west, and all the sun comes in so hot, makes it uncomfortable. You use a stronger air conditioner, and therefore you need more electricity. Whose fault is it? Could have put some louvers there in the beginning to start with, right? So, yes, it is true, and that's why we have to make an effort. So I'm glad that Onduline is organizing these lectures because somehow every single architect must design every single structure as a green building, even if their owner does not require it, because it is our responsibility to nature. It's our responsibility to society to come up with green buildings, whether it is required or not, even if it is rated or not. Oh, that's heavy, but anyway, that's what I've been doing for the last 25 years.
I'm pretty sure all of our architects, our engineers, and contractors right here are learning so much from you, Architect Guerrero. Last question. How can we achieve a green building in an industrial facility like solid waste management facility? And also, if we successfully applied green building designs, can an industrial facility be located near a residential community? Is it possible?
I will tackle the last one first.
Okay.
Whether a industrial building can be put beside a residential area, it is up to the zoning law of the municipality or the LGU or the place, no? Because there are zoning laws, no? In other words, there are zones for residential area. So that one is beyond me, no? I mean, if it is allowed, then it's allowed. Now, the first part of the question, can an industrial building, even those with the solid waste, can it be green? Yes, it can be very green. Example, you might think that a industrial building is just GI sheet roof, GI sheet wall, and then it's so hot inside, very little small windows, etc. And it's like a sweatshop, no? It doesn't have to be like that. For example, you could actually insulate that roof. Or you can use Onduline and do a double roof, a double wall. Put windows maybe on the part which is north and south, so that there's cross ventilation. On the top of the building, maybe put some places where the hot air can escape. Okay, so and then being a industrial building, that's a large roof area. You can collect so much rainwater there. So it is possible. It is possible. You have to look at the building and then look at the ways in which you can actually design with nature, and most importantly, how to make sure that the people inside using the building are healthy and comfortable. That's one of the aspects of green buildings. I hope that answered the question a bit.
All right. Thank you so much, Architect Guerrero. All right. Before we finally let you go and spend your weekend with your family, Architect Guerrero, a final message to all of our viewers tonight.
Yes. Well, there's something which I firmly believe in. Is never end a day without learning something new. Always learn something new. That's what keeps you going. Okay? And that's why I'm so happy that occasionally Onduline invites me to give share with you some lectures, because that is what I've learned in life. And transmitting it to you, all of you. No? And maybe some of you out there have learned also something which is also very important, which you can actually in the future share also with other people. No? That's why maybe in the future, maybe in the question and answer part, maybe some people can actually share some of their, best practices. No? So I think that's what I'd like to leave with you, a thought with you. Never end the day without learning something new. Then we're going to be young forever.
And today we learned something new, a lot of things new from you, Architect Miguel Guerrero. Once again, thank you so much, Architect Miguel Guerrero. Everybody, a virtual round of applause to Architect Mike Guerrero over here for his presentation and Green Innovation. Thank you very much, Architect. All right, everybody. Wow. That was a very, very comprehensive conversation all about green innovation from our green architect Miguel Guerrero. Again, if you want to learn more things about green innovation, making things green, all you got to do is give him a follow on social media. It's Archie_Mike G on Instagram. All right, to all of you, thank you so much for staying this far in our webinar. You know what? Right now, andito na tayo sa inaabangan ninyong lahat. Ang ating raffle draw. All right. Everyone, 10 lucky winners will receive a notebook, ball pen with toolkit right now. Good luck to all of you. We are going to start our electronic raffle draw on our screen. Let's check out our first winner. There you go. There you go. Congratulations, Princess Julianne Bartolome. Congratulations. Princess is present. There you go. Congratulations. Next up, our second winner. Congratulations, Luel May Salva. Let's check if Luel is here. Luel is present. Congratulations, Luel. Winner, Victoria Barkin. Victoria, let me check if you are here. Victoria is present. Congratulations, Victoria. Our first winner. Let's check it out. Winner number 4. Congratulations, Jerry May Gamit. Congratulations, Jerry May. Jerry May is also present. All of you, don't forget to follow Onduline Philippines on Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube to win. All right? Congratulations as well to Jolas Conserman. Jolas is also here. Congratulations, Jolas. Winner number 6. Cairo Harvey De Castro. Let's check if Cairo is still here with us. Congratulations, Cairo. Yes, you're here. Winner number 7. Congratulations, Bianca et Cabañas. Bianca, are you still here? Let's double check. Bianca et Cabañas. Bianca is present. Congratulations, Bianca. Last 3 winners. Winner number 8. Congratulations, Sophia Maybasa. Sophia. Is Sophia still here with us? Sophia is present. Congratulations, Sophia. Winner number 9. Congratulations, Darlene May Kunanan. Congratulations, Darlene. And of course, our last winner, winner number 10, is none other than Christine Ramay. Congratulations, Christine. Christine, are you here, Christine? Present. Christine is present. Congratulations, Christine. Of course, again, congratulations to all of our winners for our raffle draw tonight. You know what? Our Onduline team will message you on how you will claim your prizes. Again, a virtual round of applause to Architect Miguel Guerrero and, of course, to all of our winners tonight. Congratulations to all of you. And again, we are looking forward to our architects and design professionals joining OGRA 2023. Don't forget, the submission is until August 30. Let's make the Philippine architecture industry proud, and we're wishing all of you the best of luck. Plus, the double roofing doble saya contest. The mechanics and qualifications of these two contests are available in all of the social media accounts of Onduline Philippines, especially on the Facebook page of Onduline Philippines. Kaya naman, message nyo lang si Onduline right after this webinar. Now, as we come to the end of our webinar tonight on Greenovation, greening existing buildings, I'd like to thank again our esteemed speaker and all of you for your participation. Remember, each step we take towards sustainable practices contribute to a healthier planet and a brighter future for everybody. So let's all continue working together to create a greener, more sustainable world for generations to come. This has been a great night, everybody, filled with new learnings and fun. And again, thanks to our dear guests, our architects, students, and engineers. Before we part ways, don't forget to follow at Onduline Philippines on Facebook for more updates, Onduline_PH on Instagram, and Onduline Philippines on YouTube. And again, here is to a more sustainable world and quality on duty. This has been your host, Robin Ambayan. Have a great weekend ahead, everybody, and good night.
Sentro ng bagyo dito sa bahagi ng Tacloban.
The Philippines is no stranger to the strongest typhoons. Times like these, we need to stay at home under one reliable roof that will protect you and your family. A shield that values your business. Onduline sheets, made by the worldwide leader in light roofing. Onduline has been protecting lives and investments for over 75 years. Onduline is Filipinos' reliable roof partner in any season. It can withstand typhoons and wind speeds up to 260 kilometers per hour. It reduces noise on heavy rains, giving you a comfortable and quieter home, conducive for working and learning. A non-ferrous product that can resist corrosions, making it 100% rust-free. Suitable for coastal homes and establishments. A weatherproof protection made with global standards. Uncompromised quality that values and protects your investment. Have a better sleep at night knowing that you are protected. For your roofing needs, Onduline, on duty.
May nabalita na po kami na